Thank you very much, Victor Howe. Cam Jordan joins us here in Las Vegas. Cam, we really appreciate your time. I know it was a tough loss. How would you characterize this effort by the defense in this game?
You figure through three quarters, they had all of 60 yards on almost 30 carries, 67 yards on 30 carries. And you end up in the game, they had over 100 yards. That's something that, we have to play all 60 minutes. We got to play snap to whistle. There's some runs late in the game that should have been, a yard or two gains, and now it goes for 10 yards or it goes for a touchdown. These are something that, our defense takes pride in stopping the run, and we didn't finish the game out the way we wanted to. Talk about the penalties that happened this game. We really elongated some of their drives just with our self-inflicting wounds. These are something that we have to look at, we have to grow from, and we have to immediately get better from. We don't have the time to take a day off. We don't have the time to take a 24-hour rule to bounce back and process the film. We have to process it now. We have to learn now. We have to grow now. We're sort of on semi-short week. We've got a game Sunday, so we don't have the full 7 days or 6 days, whatever, from game to game. We've got to go now.
You mentioned the penalties. They were really crucial in this game. How do you correct that? Because that's really bit this team in the last couple of weeks.
That's discipline. That's our technique. That's something that we have a foundation of just open line communication. That's what's going to take, starting probably tonight.
Cam, when you look at the defensive effort, it was a weird tempo in this game. You guys jumped out to the early lead. Then they had 24 unanswered points. Did they change something they did in this game?
Again, I think it wasn't them. It was us. I've always said that we're not worried about what they're doing. It's on us. And when you look up and you feel that you've had, a third down and something that's manageable, and all of a sudden it's a penalty, that's on us. I jumped off sides somewhere in this game. That's on me. There was a penalty with a random. I'm without biting on it. I don't understand. Apparently, the horse collar rule, when there was a penalty there, we had over 10 penalties. How many were on defense?
Yeah.
It's something we have to clean up now. And I had 2 of those. It can't happen.
When you look at this defense as a whole, it seemed like the penalties were spread out. Everybody, kind of had their fair share. But as the defense right now, you've done some good things so far this season. What can you take from this game moving forward now?
If you look at 3 quarters, again, we held them to under 70 yards at whatever it was, 2.8 a carry. But it doesn't matter. You open up that fourth quarter clip, and there's a lot of things that you're going to look at and have glaring holes. This is something we have to figure out how to correct and really grow from. The key to this is to take this one loss and turn it into a multiple win streak, starting with this next game.
You mentioned it was you guys more than them, but Carr looked uncomfortable early. Then he kind of found his rhythm. Did they do anything different in this game later in the game than you saw early?
They started releasing the ball a lot faster. They brought in max protect at times, but that's to be expected. We got to them 3 times the first quarter, and then from there, they tried to change it up as you knew offense would have to adjust. Again, we let them sort of out of our grasp with a couple of these penalties. This is something that turns the tide. And again, we have to turn on film. We have to look at us. We have to be super critical and realize, what can we do to get better now.
Final question, Cam. You mentioned putting some wins together in terms of quarterbacks. Doesn't get easier next week. Aaron Rodgers comes in the Superdome, another primetime game. But as a defensive unit, I'm sure you see that as a challenge, a good challenge.
Yeah, they've got a talented running back, one of the most talented quarterbacks you're ever going to see in terms of arm strength, in terms of physical prowess, etc. He comes from an amazing alma mater. When you talk about what Devontae Adams has been to the Packers, they've got weapons, but at the end of the day, it's always going to be about us and what we can do.
All right, Cam, listen, I know it was a tough loss. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes with us. Have a safe flight back. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Yep. God bless. Peace.
All right. We appreciate Cam Jordan joining us. We'll have Drew Brees and hopefully a few more players from that Saints locker room. Back to you, Victor.